Hello everyone, welcome to IT Horizon. In today's video, we'll be discussing about the invoicing policy in Odoo 19 sales module. In Odoo, the invoicing policy determines when and how a customer should be invoiced after placing an order. It defines whether the invoice should be created before delivery, that's based on the ordered quantity, or after delivery, based on the delivered quantity. So let's move on to the sales module to manage with the invoicing policy. Upon moving on to the configuration settings, you would be able to manage the invoicing policy. Here you can find the invoicing policy as if just dragged down. You can also set a default invoicing policy under the invoice. So currently, the default invoicing policy is invoice what is ordered. Once you set the default invoicing policy, you can see the changes that you have. Now you can move on to the product, and from here you can filter the product. We can see that upon moving on to the search panel, here we have the option to get the product based on invoicing policy. I'll be grouping the product based on the invoicing policy. Once it's been set, you would be able to see the product with the delivered quantity as well as the ordered quantity. You can also find the product with its on-hand quantity as well as the price and everything. To manage with the invoicing policy, we can move on to the quotations. So before moving on to that, let me consider the product over here. Let me click on new button to create a new quotation by filling out the details of the customer. So here you would be able to see the item, and let's add it by clicking on confirm. So upon adding the item, you can see that we have the sufficient quantity. Now let's confirm the order. As we just click on confirm button, you can see that the quotation will be moving to the sales order state. Now let's manage with the invoicing policy. Let's try to create an invoice, and I would like to create a regular invoice. So when you try to create a regular invoice or any invoice, sometimes you'll be getting an issue with the tax. Let's try to create a draft invoice. Here we are getting a validation error as it contains one or more taxes that are incompatible with your physical country. So you'll just need to remove the taxes or adjust the taxes accordingly. I would like to remove the taxes right now over here. So here you can see that you can save the changes that you have made, and let's create the invoice again. And when you try to create the invoice, here you can see that you can only create the invoice for one of the product. So here you know that we have the invoicing policy, ordered quantity, and delivered quantity. We can create the invoice only for the ordered quantity. This is because the customer is invoiced as soon as the sales order is confirmed, regardless of whether the product have been delivered or not. So this is common in services or made to order product and suitable when the payment is required before the delivery. Here you can confirm the invoice, and we have just done with it. Now, when we just want to create the invoice for the other product, which is corner desk, right side left, corner desk, left side over here, you can see that we need to first deliver the item to manage with the invoicing policy. So as we have sufficient item, we can just deliver the item to the customer. Currently, we have just done with it. And now we'll be getting the option to create the invoice for corner desk left side. So the customer is invoiced only after the products are delivered for the invoicing policy as delivered quantity. So this is common in retail or the stock-based business, and will be useful when the payment is done after the goods are received. So you can click on create invoice and click on create draft tripler invoice. And upon confirming the invoice, you can see that the invoice will be set to posted. So that's how we manage with the invoicing policies of Odoo 19 sales. So thank you for watching the video.